The Bills now continuing to inch more and more closer, at least right now. The money has come in a little bit on the Bills. Line opened around 2.5. It's down to 1.5 or so. How do you break down the Bills on the road against the Chiefs and in what you already referred to, Furman, as the varsity battle here?
Yeah, I mean, from a number standpoint, look, you're not stealing anything by betting Buffalo here. If this number opened at 3, I definitely would have had a little number grab on the Bills taking a full field goal. I give odds makers a ton of credit here. They open under the key number, and you're still seeing support for the Buffalo Bills. So it just goes to show what you would have seen transpire in the betting market if it opened at a field goal. When I look at Buffalo, the big thing for them that we've seen over the last couple of weeks is the emergence of a legitimate ground game. They're committing a little bit more to Devin Singletary. But as we saw from Brian Daboll and what was so critical to the Bills getting off the mark quickly in frigid temperatures against New England is Josh Allen's willingness to run. I mean, Clay, he was over his rushing total before the first quarter even came to an end. They didn't have to run him nearly as much once they built the lead, but it forces defenses to pick their poison because suddenly if you're Kansas City, Tyrann Mathieu can't be patrolling center field, picking off an errant passer there. He's got to come up. He's got to help in run support. And you're looking at the likes of, Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs, Isaiah McKenzie, who's flashed brilliantly against the Patriots, and Dawson Knox replicating the performance we saw at Arrowhead earlier this year where the Bills hung 38 points on the Chiefs. Meanwhile, on the other side, I do think Kansas City's going to have success moving the football. I mean, Buffalo defensively was great against New England, but Mac missed some throws. He had a couple of key drops. And Kansas City's receivers are bona fide stars compared to the likes of Kendrick Bourne and Jacoby Myers, a pair of undrafted free agents. I think this is the kind of game where the Bills would love to have a true number one corner in Tre'Davious White that they've been able to operate without. So I really believe both teams will get theirs. The one thing that's interesting for Kansas City, and it's a guy we clamored for earlier in the season and people kind of laughed, we're seeing finally the most explosive running back on their roster. It's Jerick McKinnon. He's got the flash. He's got the ability to catch balls out of the backfield, and he's got more big play potential in him than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And unfortunately for the Chiefs, somewhere along the way, rubber has to meet the road. And from a political standpoint, you can understand why they've done everything to give CEH the opportunity to be the number one. When you have running backs like DeAndre Swift or Jonathan Taylor that were taken after him in that particular draft, you go with the players that are going to give you the best opportunity to win. And Jerick McKinnon, bang for my buck, I think is that most dynamic running back, and he's the perfect complement to the likes of a Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Byron Pringle, and, of course, Mecole Hardman. So I think we're in for a treat, but I'm fully on board with this line move here. I think Buffalo is the more complete team as we get into the twilight of the season.
I'm on the Chiefs, by the way. I think the Chiefs will find a way to win at home and advance to another AFC championship game. I think it would be, am I right about this, Furman, their fourth straight AFC championship game?
Is it the fourth or the third? I mean, I know.
I think it's the fourth because they lost to the Bills.
Yeah,
in
they lost
the
the game
AFC,
to New
and
England.
they've been in 2 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah, it's a good point. They lost the game to New England because Justin Houston jumped off sides, or
right.
Dee Ford, one of the two Super Bowls, and yep, they would have a chance here. And it's a credit to a team that I think a lot of people went, what's wrong with them earlier in the season on Sunday Night Football, but this will be their biggest test, no doubt about it. And I can't wait to watch this game, which in most years would probably be for the AFC title.